For the past 30 years, I have been practicing international extradition and have represented people both in the United States as well as people overseas who have been arrested for whose prosecution is wanted in the United States. Extradition can be defeated. There are two principles at work. Double criminality involves the concept that extradition can only occur if a person arrested in a country is charged with a crime that exists in the country that actually made the arrest. The second is what's called the rule of specialty. It is a principle involving international extradition that protects defendants who are in fact extradited from being prosecuted for any charge other than the extradited offenses. Let me give you an example of a situation involving the leader of a charged conspiracy who was ultimately sentenced to less time, much less time, than everybody in the case. This was a case that I handled years ago involving a gentleman who was arrested in Paris and who refused, at my advice, to waive his rights under extradition. He relied on the rule of specialty, he relied on double criminality to contest the extradition. Now, ultimately, he was extradited to Puerto Rico where he faced charges there. But because the United States was forbidden under international extradition law from prosecuting him for anything other than the charges in the original extradition request, this man was sentenced to time served. Everybody else in the case was sentenced to life in prison. He utilized the laws involving international extradition to his advantage. But what's most important in international extradition is getting an American lawyer involved immediately. American lawyers know American law. International lawyers don't, and the United States government will go into a foreign jurisdiction and may mislead a foreign court into believing that certain events will occur or certain rules to apply that in reality don't. American lawyers also can get involved and should be involved right away because you get a head start on the case so that if the extradition occurs, and the extradition may take a few weeks, a few months, and in some cases, a few years, that American lawyer can have a running start on the case and be way, way ahead of the prosecution. And it's the government who is playing catch up, not you. We at the law firm of Potashnik and Associates are very experienced in the areas of international extradition. We have offices in the Virgin Islands, in Paris, Switzerland, as well as in New York. If you are the subject or a defendant in an international extradition, we urge you to call the number below.